Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. I really hope you guys are all doing good. Today I'm coming at you with one of my favorite videos that I think I have filmed in a very long time. Today we're going to be reading my 3 most anticipated romances, and you guys, I have chosen 3 incredible books for this video. So I wanted to try and kind of do things a little bit differently, and rather than just picking 3 books off my shelf that I'm excited to read, I wanted to make selections with just a little bit more purpose behind them. So with that being said, let's run over the 3 books that I have chosen. So I decided I wanted to do like a super hyped romance, a romance that I've not really heard many people talking about, and then a romance that has got really mixed reviews. So I thought it'd be quite interesting to see if I agree with the hype, to see if I really like the book that isn't really kind of spoken about very often, and then also to see what I think of the book that has mixed reviews. So I'm going to run through what we chose now. So for the super hyped romance, I have of course chosen Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. This has been everywhere on TikTok, on Booktube, on Bookstagram in recent months, and I have been super curious about it. I don't automatically gravitate towards hockey romances or sports romances in general. It's not usually my thing, and honestly I also tend to avoid super cartoonish covers. However, everybody said this one is deceptively spicy. Like when you look at the cover you think it's just going to be an innocent rom-com, and then when you read it it's super spicy, and I was like, okay, you know what, we'll give it a go. So this is my super hyped choice. Then for the book that I never really hear anybody talking about, I decided to go with Twisted Dares by A.R. Breck, which is book 1 in the Blackridge Prep trilogy. I don't know if it's a trilogy or a series yet. There's currently 3 books out and I'm now reading book 2, so spoiler alert, obviously I enjoyed this one. But yeah, this is a very dark romance trilogy, currently series maybe, I don't know, following a son of a mafia lord and the daughter of a serial killer. Make of that what you will. And then for the book that has had really mixed reviews, I chose My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey, which you guys will know I have wanted to read for a while since I picked it up in the summer, but I have just been waiting for the right moment, and finally the moment was here. So these are the 3 books that I'm going to be reading in this video, and I cannot wait for you guys to see my thoughts and feelings on these, because honestly I have been pretty surprised. Hey guys, okay, so I have started My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey, which is the pick that I chose for a book that has had mixed reviews. I've been really excited to read this book since I heard about it, and then I've heard a lot of people saying it just doesn't live up to the hype, it doesn't live up to Tessa Bailey's usual standard. I heard a few people mentioning that the main character, the main male lead, was quite misogynistic, and there's like a few negative things that I've heard. But then on the flip side, I've also heard people saying that it's a lot of fun, that it's super spicy. So yeah, I'm excited to kind of formulate my own opinion on this one. I'm about 50 pages in. So far I'm really enjoying it. I don't know, it's just fun right now. I have picked up on one instance of misogyny that kind of bothered me, and it did kind of make me pause for a minute, but ultimately like it hasn't ruined the reading experience so far. Anyway, yeah, so I mean, aside from that one little bit that I have seen, I currently can't really comment on the misogynistic elements, but yeah, I'm only like 50 pages in. It's fun so far, I'm enjoying it. We will see if I continue to enjoy it, but yeah. Okay, I'm 100 pages in. I really need to stop and do some uni work, but guys, I'm loving this. Like, I'm really enjoying this. So I don't know what everybody has been complaining about so far, because I think it's really good. Obviously, you know, again, only 100 pages in, so that assumption could change dramatically in the next 200 pages, I don't know, but it's very fast paced. I think I could potentially finish this tonight maybe, depending on how much reading I get done. So far it's looking like a 5 out of 5 star romance. Watch me eat my words, watch me eat my words. Good morning friends, happy Monday. Here's the thing, I love this book. I am on page 232.
so I'm really close to finishing it, and I'm just having a great time. I'm literally loving life. It is a wild ride and I love it. I don't really understand why people don't love it. I mean, okay, it's not like the best book ever written objectively, so I guess that's, you know, possibly why. And I suppose it also doesn't really live up to It Happened One Summer, or even her Fix Her Up series. I can't really remember what that one's called. So I can kind of understand if you're a Tessa Bailey stan, maybe it would have been a bit of a disappointment. I am not a Tessa Bailey stan. I enjoyed It Happened One Summer and whatever the follow-up was called, but like I'm not, oh my god, like in love with those books, so I suppose that's why this hasn't been maybe a disappointment for me. But yeah, I'm loving it. I cannot put it down. I'm supposed to be working right now, and yet here I am reading because it's so good. I'm just really enjoying it. It's very spicy. It's spicier than I thought it would be, actually. But on saying that, I think a lot of Tessa Bailey's books are spicier than I thought they'd be. Like, you pick them up expecting them to just be like rom-com, and they are, but they're also like very spicy. So yeah, I'm definitely enjoying that aspect of it, and I'm liking the fact that this is a little bit of a murder mystery. It just adds like a little layer of, I don't know, something extra to it. Like, it's not just two people trying to figure out their relationship. It's this extra layer of like danger and intrigue and adrenaline and suspense, and I'm really liking it. So I knew it. I guessed who the person was. Oh my god, I knew it. I'm so clever. I am so clever. I should just be a private investigator. That is what I should be. You know what, guys? I did it, okay? I gave it 5 stars. Is it the best book I've ever read? No. Is it the best written book in the world? No. Does it have its faults? Absolutely. But you know what? It left me feeling so warm and fuzzy and just like happy that I couldn't give it anything less. I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I am so glad that I decided to kick this video off with that book. Why have I got makeup down my face? I'm so glad I decided to kick this video off with that book because yes, brilliant. And I'm sorry, like, I know a lot of people are probably going to disagree with me here, but I really enjoyed it. So that is book 1 down. Incredible scenes. I don't know what I'm going to read next. I don't know whether I'm going to jump straight into the next romance on this list, or if I want a little palette cleanser in between so that I don't get too bogged down with reading romance back to back. That is a problem for Lucy in a few hours to decide, because right now I really need to kick focus into work. But yeah, oh my god, incredible. I loved it. I loved it so much. I think what I'm going to do at the end is give like a proper review of each book. So yeah, obviously you got my rating and my initial reaction upon finishing, but yeah, watch to the end for my in-depth thoughts on all 3 books. Coming at you a few hours after filming my last clip, actually. Please ignore this. Please do not perceive it. It has got worse as the day has gone on, and I have been trying to ignore it, but now it is completely unavoidable because I feel like it's taking over my whole face, and I can literally, I feel like I'm going cross-eyed, I can literally like see it. So that's great. We love that for me. Anyway, I decided to go for some dark romance. I'm feeling in my dark romance moment, and I've had this particular book on my physical TBR pile for what feels like forever. In reality it's not, it's a few months, but it feels like forever. I think I got it right before I went away in the summer, and I didn't pick it up before I left, so I have been waiting eagerly to read it since I got back, and now is the time. And that book is Twisted Dares by A.R. Breck. I'm very excited for this one. So this one it's set at a prep school. This is Blackridge Prep book 1, so I'm guessing it will of course be a series. And this one is Raven, who is the daughter of America's most prolific serial killer, and Kalian Morelli, who is the son of a mafia don. It's already pretty dark. Like, she is in this crazy religious household. Obviously her parents, she's no longer living with them. We don't know at this stage what's happened to them. I'm assuming they are in jail, but she is living with her aunt and her cousin and her uncle, and they are like religious fanatics and constantly kind of accusing her of living in sin. So that's very interesting. And then she goes to like an underground like fight club to try and like release some of her pent-up aggression and pent-up frustration. And there's like hints of her also being maybe a little bit sociopathic or something. I'm only like 60 pages in, so we're still learning, we're still delving in, but I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. I'm looking forward to some dark and twisted occurrences. It's been a while since I've read a proper dark romance, so I'm hoping this one like fulfills that kind of craving in me. I don't know what this is about me that I'm craving a dark romance, but there we go. I will probably touch base with you guys. I will circle back. I will follow up tomorrow with more of my thoughts, because I think I'm probably going to journal for a little bit and then read for a very short while and then go to sleep. I kind of want an early night tonight. But yes, I just wanted to fill you in that I have started my next book and I'm really excited to see what this one has in store. I feel like it's going to be a wild ride. Hey friends, it is a Tuesday and somehow this situation looks worse. Somehow I'm already like 50% of the way through Twisted Dares. Like, I don't really understand how I'm reading so quickly this week, but apparently here we are. This one I'm not loving as much as I enjoyed my Killer Vacation. It's like, it's still fast paced, but just in like a different way. And I don't know if maybe it's just because I haven't read a dark romance in a while. I'm just like not in the dark romance mindset. I'm still in like cutesy rom-com mindset. So I don't know if that's what it is, or if this just isn't the dark romance for me, but there is just something lacking right now. I really like the male love interest, Celian. He's really intriguing to me, and I'm looking forward to seeing kind of like how his character is going to develop throughout the rest of the book. And I am kind of enjoying Raven, I suppose, who's the female main character. I don't know. I'm just not sure yet. This isn't giving me the vibes that I thought it would give me. Like, it's dark, and the scenes from her childhood especially are really, really disturbing. There's actually a lot of trigger warnings for kind of sexual abuse, both to adults and to children, and just general unaliving and just nasty things. Yes, I'm intrigued to see like kind of how it's all going to tie together and what's going to happen. I don't know if we're actually going to see a resolution in this book, with it only being 50% of the way through and it's only just starting to like get into the meat of it. I actually do wonder, because this is book 1 in the Blackridge Prep series, I wonder if all of the books in this series are going to follow Raven and Celian, or maybe they'll follow Raven's cousin. I don't know. I'm just, yeah, I'm not disliking it, but I'm not like enamored by it. Like, I'm not kind of, oh my god, I need to know what's happening immediately kind of vibes. So that is where we're at. I will check in with you guys a little bit later. I did want to get some like montagey clips of me actually physically reading the book, but because I'm filming this during a work day, I haven't been able to do that yet. And by the time I sit down later to properly read, it will be too dark. So I think this vlog, you probably won't get any montage clips of me reading, but you're going to get regular updates like this. So yeah, hopefully that will do. Yeah, that's my thoughts so far. Don't hate it, but just not like obsessed with it. It's just not giving me what I thought it would give me, but that's fine. It's still sitting at like a 3-star. I don't hate it. It might get better. I'm hoping, like I say, now that we're getting into the beef of the story and really starting to like, things are starting to pick up, I'm hoping we'll get some more from it. Hey friends, I am home from dance and I have been reading, and I am now on page 380 of Twisted Dares. I don't understand how I'm getting through books so fast this week. I know that's not the first time I've said it. I'm just honestly shocked, because I'm storming through these books. It is only Tuesday. How am I on book 2 of the week already and about to finish book 2 of the week? It's crazy. As you can probably tell, because I have whizzed through it, I am actually enjoying it a lot more than I was when I updated you guys earlier. The story's got a lot more compelling, and I definitely think I'm correct in assuming that the story is not all being
wrapped up in this book. I actually had a look on Amazon before, and there's 3 books currently in this series out. I don't know if it's going to be a trilogy or if it is a series, so I think I'm actually going to pick up the second book as soon as I finish this, because I have a feeling this is going to end on a cliffhanger. I did make the mistake of looking up the synopsis for the second book because I was curious earlier to see if it was the same couple in book 2 or if it was a different couple, and although it doesn't say it, I am 99.9% certain it's the same couple in book 1, which backs up my theory that this is not going to be wrapped up in the next 10 pages or so. So yes, that is my plan. I'm going to pick up a book 2 in the series and read it pretty much straight away, I think, because it is just so good. I'm really shocked by it, because it's not that I wasn't enjoying it earlier, but I just wasn't like crazy obsessed with it, you know. I didn't have the same vibes as I got from My Killer Vacation, where I couldn't put it down. But then that did change this afternoon and this evening, so here we are. I'm enjoying this. I think it's probably gonna be like a 4-star. It's definitely not worth a 5-star, but it's also better than a 3, I think. Definitely, if you pick this up as well, look at the trigger warnings, because there are so many trigger warnings in this book. I am so very, very tired, but I just finished Twisted Dares. This was very good. It was 4 stars. I think I said that before, but it stayed at 4 stars. I very much enjoyed it. I will give you guys my full thoughts at the end of this video. I look like the moon. Yeah, I need to go to sleep now desperately, but book 2 done. This video has been very good so far. I feel like I need to do this more often. Just like save up my anticipated reads and then do them in one go, because yeah, this has been very fun. Saturday. I was supposed to be spending the whole day today doing university. Have I done that? No. Why? Because I've been reading. Same for last night as well, so I really need to get a bit of like self-control going on right now. But this book is just, it's so good, and I'm literally like addicted to it. I'm on page 262 and I'm loving just everything about it. I'm loving the representation, I'm loving the diversity, I'm loving the banter, I'm loving the steaminess, I'm loving everything about it. And one thing I found particularly interesting, I read about the author last night, and she is from Manchester, which is only like an hour down the road from me, and she's writing a book set in America. And when I first started reading it, I genuinely thought it was a US author because she's using kind of US spelling, grammar, etc. There was a scene I read in it today, and when I read that scene I was like, yep, it couldn't be more obvious that this is written by a Brit, and that was because the main character ordered a vodka and Diet Coke at the bar. And every single time I'm in the States and I order a vodka and Coke, whoever is either with me or like the person behind the bar looks at me like I've grown 2 heads. Like, I don't know what it is about that drink in the States, but people just don't get it until they've tried it. And yeah, it just made me laugh because it reminded me of all the crazy looks that I've had ordering that in various bars over the last few years. So yeah. Anyway, this book's making me really happy, you guys. I'm thoroughly enjoying reading it, and I think I'm going to have a new wait, what? I think I'm gonna have a new favourite romance series by the time I finish this. Like, this is just so much fun. I'm really enjoying it. But anyway, now I really must do university stuff because I am falling behind because life has been busy and a lot recently, and I have not been using my evenings to study like I should be. So I am gonna do that now and read more later. I think I'll finish that book today, so I think you guys will get my kind of final thoughts on it later, and then I'm going to film a separate clip afterwards where I sum up my thoughts and feelings on everything to do with the 3 books I have read for this video. Hey friends, it is a lot later. It's actually just about to turn midnight, and I have just finished Icebreaker. 5 out of 5 stars. Is anybody surprised? Honestly, no. That was just chef's kiss, you know. That was exactly what I need and love in a romance. So I'm just full of happy vibes right now. But I did want to mention one thing, because
I was going to mention it on my kind of like official video wrap up, which I'm going to film tomorrow, but I realised that I'm filming this at like midnight and there's a chance that I probably will forget to say this in the wrap up tomorrow. So I've just done what I normally do when I finish a book, which is I always, for some reason, no matter how much I love the book, will look at the 1-star reviews on Goodreads, because I just find it really interesting to see what people's criticisms are. Quite often there's a lot of very, very valid criticism for books, and I think especially romance books as well. And I'm not saying that it always affects my ratings or my judgment, but I just like to go back through and kind of read and have a think and, you know, reflect on whether there's anything I've missed. So anyway, I did this for Icebreaker, and there was a lot of 1-star reviews talking about bad Muslim representation, and I got a little bit confused because they were referencing a character called Sabrina, and they were saying that she was Anastasia's best friend, but Anastasia's best friend in the book that I've just read is Lola, and I don't actually recall there being a character called Sabrina. So I've been doing a little bit of digging, and I had a look at the front of my book, and my copy is an updated version from August 2022. So I just thought I'd bring attention to that, because it could very well be that in the previous versions this character of Sabrina was in the book and the author didn't do a very good job with the Muslim representation. So I just wanted to like bring that to everyone's attention, because firstly, like obviously if you like me have got this updated version, you may not have seen that either. So I just thought it was good to just kind of put out there, because firstly I don't want anybody who follows me who is Muslim to think that I'm just here singing the praises of a book that badly represents an entire kind of religion and group of people. Obviously that's not the book that I just read, so I'm going off what I have just read and consumed, but I just wanted to put that out there because yeah, I don't want to unintentionally offend anybody. Okay friends, so I promised you a wrap up. Here is said wrap up of what I thought about these books, because what a video. I went into this honestly thinking that I was probably going to be rating these books like 3 stars, maybe a single 4-star. I was not expecting 2 5-stars and a 4-star, but you know what? That's what we got, and I'm here for it. So let's go in order of when I read them. So we'll start off with My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. So as you know, I gave this 5 stars, and I was kind of struggling to choose my rating for this. Originally I gave it 4, then I switched to 5, then I switched it back to 4, then I switched it back to 5. And my reasoning for being a little bit all over the place with this was because objectively it's not the best written book in the world. You know, there's definitely faults with it. There are so many faults with this book. But ultimately what got me in the end was just how much fun I had reading it. And I kind of sat there and reflected on it for a little while, and I thought to myself, the whole point of reading, the whole point of this hobby that we share is to have fun and enjoy ourselves. So if a book has filled you with joy and happiness, and you've thoroughly loved every single moment of reading it, and it's just stuck with you in that way, not because it's, you know, a literary masterpiece, not because it's perfect, but just because it's fun and enjoyable, then give it the 5 stars. Does it really matter? At the end of the day, I'm not like some newspaper, New York Times, Washington Post literary critic. I'm a small booktuber. So if I want to rate this 5 stars because I really, really enjoyed it, then I'm going to rate the book 5 stars, which is exactly what I did. I loved it. I loved the spice. The spice in this book was surprising, and I forget sometimes just quite how explicit Tessa Bailey can be. This was just, I loved it. Honestly, I really, really loved it. And I told my friend about it, and she basically said, you've just described like a Lifetime movie. And I was like, yeah, I guess I have. Like that's just what it gave me, you know. And I haven't read a rom-com for a while, so because this was the first one that I've read in quite some time, I just really enjoyed the fluffy kind of rom-com-y vibes that I got from this. I enjoyed the happy ever after. I enjoyed everything about this book, even though yes, I did guess who the killer was pretty much straight away. It didn't matter. Like it didn't matter that I got the plot twist. I was just, yeah, I was having a great time. So 5 stars all round for My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. And you know what? Yes, I am definitely going to reread this. Definitely going to annotate it, because this is a new favourite and I loved it so much. So then I read Twisted Dares by A.R. Breck, and this was the first dark romance that I have read in quite some time. And you know what?
I really enjoyed this one too. So I gave this one 4 stars because I felt like the pacing was just a little bit off in places. The description was too heavy in some scenes. It was just a little bit much. It was a little bit overwritten at times, but ultimately I got really sucked into the plot. I wasn't expecting to, and I started reading it during one of my work days, and I was just like, I don't really know, like I don't feel like this is giving what I thought it was giving. And I was gonna give this like 3 stars at first, but then I stuck with it, got sucked into the plot, and then as things started to speed up and as kind of like the overarching plot for the trilogy kind of started to come about, that's when I really started to enjoy this, and by the end of the book I was completely hooked, so I loved it. And then finally we have Icebreaker. Oh my god, this book, if I could give a book 1,000,000 stars, this right here. Oh, so good. This is a contender, honestly, for like my top book of the year. Like, obviously my top book of the year is House of Sky and Breath. I feel like that needs absolutely no... Wait, was that even released this year? Was that last year? No, that was this year, right? Yeah, it was this year. Yes, it was this year. Oh my god. Honestly, guys, time at the moment is just, it's just existing on a whole other plane to me. Life is crazy. Anyway, yeah, so House of Sky and Breath is clearly going to be my #1 book of the year, because of course it is. But this is a very close second, I think. I truly loved this book so much. Oh my god, I am so obsessed. I am so obsessed. Like, I don't think I can put into words or accurately sum up the feelings that I have surrounding this book, and particularly this man, Mr. Nathan Hawkins. Honestly, the things I would do to that man if he were real. But basically this is kind of like a reverse Grumpy Sunshine. So we have the grumpy girl and golden retriever boyfriend. Basically it's kind of like a little bit of a frenemies to lovers situation as well, but it's so good because I feel like it confronts so many like important topics. It's very diverse in terms of representation. You've got like disability rep, you've got LGBT rep, you've got various different races and religions represented in this book. It talks about consent, it talks about the toxicity around disordered eating that's quite often, you know, found in sports. It's very pro consent, it's very pro communication between couples. It's very pro therapy. Honestly, I was actually quite blown away by everything that the author managed to pack into this book without it seeming like it was just being done to tick boxes, if that makes sense. Now, I know I mentioned in my little clip that I filmed last night for the vlog that this author did come under a bit of fire for the Muslim representation in this book. And I actually did a little bit more digging on that this morning, so I'm going to bring it up again just to kind of like reiterate what I mentioned last night, which is that this copy that I have now is the updated version from August 2022. So I believe that the author apologised for getting the representation wrong, and she actually replaced the character completely in this later edition. So if you have an earlier edition, the main friend, Anastasia's main friend, it will be Sabrina, which is not the edition that I have. Obviously in this one she is Lola, and a lot of people that have read both said they prefer Lola as a character anyway. Now, from what I do understand, some of the ebook editions still have Sabrina in, so I feel like it's going to be a bit of a mixed bag as to which one you get, and obviously I can't speak for the version that I haven't read. I can only go off what I've read here, which I found very enjoyable, which I mean, I think it's probably a continuation really of what I said last night. I loved it, quite honestly, and I really want to reread it already. And I think what I might do is allow myself to reread this over Christmas, because I'm taking a Christmas break this year for the first time in 4 years. I haven't taken a proper Christmas to unwind and relax and not work for 4 years. Like, literally, even working Christmas Day quite often. I'm so over it. Watch me now have to work now that I've said that. But no, I'm determined to finish and have like a proper Christmas break this year, which means I'm going to allow myself in that like funny time between Christmas and New Year when you don't know what day it is and nobody's really working or doing anything and you're just eating and watching TV. Like, at that point, I feel like I want to try and reread some of my favourite books from the year, and obviously this will be one of them, and I'm going to annotate the hell out of this book because it was so good. New book boyfriend and new book husbands. So I have Rhysand obviously as like my ultimate book husband. Hunt is like my bit on the side, but I guess if I'm looking for someone who isn't, you know, like fae or angelic, just like a regular human, this boy right here. Anyway, I feel like I have rambled about loving fictional characters for a little bit too long today, so me and my rapidly depleting caffeine are gonna go. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, as always, give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new. I really hope you enjoyed this one. I'm trying to put a little bit more effort into the way I film. I'm trying to put a little bit more effort into the way that I edit, so I really hope that's coming across for you guys. I'm just trying to make this whole space just a little bit more high quality, you know, going into 2023. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button. I will see you in another video very soon. Love you guys. Goodbye.